Now, joining me in the studio is Matt. He's here to tell me about BizBritain and maybe give you a bit of advice about how you can get your business going. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining me in the studio today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about what is BizBritain?
So BizBritain, we're a business support organisation and we work with small businesses and startups to help them access finance that they either need to start up or to grow. And the main way in which we do this is through a government initiative called the Startup Loan Scheme, which came into force around 2012 at the recommendation of Lord Young, and it's kind of grown from there really. So we don't just help access to finance, we give advice and we help businesses and business owners kind of go through the journey of kind of coming up with an idea all the way through to actually being ready to start a business and make money from a business at a level that they can actually pay back a business loan. And the reason behind it really is that the banks, as you may well know and viewers may well know, they're just not lending to small businesses and people without a lot of track record behind them. And where we differ is that we look at the whole person, we look at their background, we look at their motivations, so we're able to make probably a better decision on why it's a safe bet to back them financially than a bank would from just running a credit score.
I mean, this sounds like it's still going to cost a business money, so it's something that you really need to be passionate about whatever business you've got.
Absolutely, yeah, and with any business you really want to think carefully before you borrow money. It's not something that you should take lightly, and with anything in life, because even with something low interest like the Startup Loan Scheme, which is government backed, so it can be below the commercial rates of interest that you get from a bank, you're still going to pay back more than you borrow. But that being said, if you don't have access to the money yourself and you're not prepared to wait and save up that money, then it is a route that you can go. And if the business is turning a profit and making enough money for it to be viable, then it's a route that a lot of people would like to take.
And is there something that you mentioned there a bit earlier about how you help someone take it from the grassroots and actually build it up? Can you give me an example of what company you've helped so far?
Oh God, I mean, we've helped hundreds. I mean, we help hundreds a year. So I mean, anything from a plumber. We get lots of tradespeople, particularly in local areas like Oxford and surrounding areas. We get hairdressers, builders, people that just want their tools of the trade, maybe a van, the things that they need to kind of do their day-to-day job. So it's not all about big tech companies and exciting new ideas and kind of Dragon's Den style stuff. It is often very day-to-day businesses.
So, I mean, you're talking about a government loan here.
Yeah.
Could people get that government loan without your help, or is it that you give them a bigger package? I mean, you're the middleman a little bit.
Yeah, we are the middleman. So they can't access the money without going through a delivery partner, what's known as a delivery partner. So we're one of a number of delivery partners around the UK. We look after the Thames Valley region, so Oxfordshire, Buckinghamshire, Berkshire, kind of through the M4 and M40 corridor up to Birmingham. So in a roundabout way, no, they can't access it without coming through us. They could go through another partner, but we obviously specialise in this region, so it's in their interest to come through us, really.
And how much money can a startup business take? You said there that you obviously look at them individually, so it's not going to be here you go, here's £1,000.
It's not. So we ask people how much they think they want to borrow, and we say how much do you think you want to borrow, because it's not always the amount that they actually need to borrow. So we'll look at their cash flow projections and where their business is, and we'll make a kind of more informed decision than they can perhaps make on how much we feel their business needs to borrow in order to kind of take off. And then we can make them a loan offer, assuming that they pass all the tests and criteria for that amount. So it can be anything from around about £1,000 up to £25,000.
And is there that chance, because there is with every loan, that someone may end up not being able to pay it back and fall into bankruptcy and all of that? Do you go sit down with them to say that this is what could happen potentially? Absolutely,
yeah, and that's part of our duty under not just the Startup Loan Scheme, but as a FCA authorised business. We have to make people very aware of the consequences, and that's very important to us as well, because for us as an organisation, the last thing we want is to be giving people money that that can't pay it back, because it's just not it's not how we want to be perceived, and it's not ethically a nice thing to do, is it? So we need to ensure that people that are lent the money to the best of our ability, we've ensured that they can pay it back. Obviously, with any kind of loan, there are always going to be a small percentage of people that fall behind and struggle, but we do our very best to mitigate that risk and to work with them at the beginning and to kind of look through kind of all angles and try and make sure that that's not going to happen.
And on the other side then, as a company, do you actually do the research as well? So say if I was a plumber and I came to you, but the whole area that was saturated in plumbers, would you try and dissuade me?
Well, what we do is we encourage people to do their own market research. So as part of the application process, they have to do market research, they have to do a competitor analysis, they have to prepare a cash flow forecast, they have to be able to show how they're going to take that business and how they're going to make money from it. So if they go out and look in the local market and they say, yeah, there's thousands of plumbers, we say, well, perhaps maybe you need to look at a slightly different angle on that. Is there a different niche that you can fill?
So it is a case that you are providing everything from, the advice as well, and to encourage people to actually help themselves.
Absolutely, yeah, because that's the key goal behind the scheme. It's to help generate new businesses, because that's what the economy needs. It needs new businesses.
That's very true, to keep us going. So if anybody wants more information, they can look up BizBritain and they can find out more about the advice that you can offer.
Brilliant, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Matt, for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
Great stuff, thank you.
Thank you.